Hello everyone. My name is Anastasia and this is the channel where I want to talk about cross stitch. I had this idea to make a video about about my story of cross stitching and about all my projects for some time now because I really want to talk about all these things. Uh, but I never really got to it. And now I've got lots of free time, so I thought, why not doing it? Since everyone has some free time and maybe they will watch me. So, a few things about myself. I'm 27, I will be 28 in a month. I'm married. My husband is not here right now, he's quarantining in our friend's place. They have PS4, they have a giant TV screen, they're perfectly happy there. And it's actually strengthening our marriage by being apart right now, because not that we are not able to stay in close quarters together. No, we will be perfectly fine. But right now I'm in such a mood where my stitchy bug and I'm just like in a crafting spree where I want to do all the things at once. Like in April, I want to start all the things. Like today is the 11th of April and I already started 5 new projects and I'm not stopping. I want to start everything else. So like currently I need all the surfaces in our apartment because I'm crafting here, I'm dyeing fabrics here, I'm doing stuff there. So it just helps us a lot that he's not here. uh, it's a joke. It's a joke. So um, for the past 4 years we've been living in China, and right now we are in Beijing. And that must be all. Like today I want to tell my stitchy story, so to say, because I've been stitching since childhood. I don't remember when exactly was it, maybe I was 10 or 12, but at some point I just found a cross stitch kit at my mom's home. It's important to say that neither my grandma, nor my mom, nor my sister are cross stitchers. Like, I have a little sister, and she's not into that. So, I don't know how it got in our home, but there was a little cross stitch kit. I think it was a green frog on a very dense green Ada, and I just picked it up, and I always loved playing with needles, threads, maybe stitching something, sewing something. Um, so I just thought maybe why not doing it right now? So I picked it up and finished it, and I don't remember like stitching for a long time in a row, but at some points during school, I just picked that kit, maybe finished it, just picked that thing, finished it. And then I maybe the longest time I was stitching, like a period of time, was after I graduated from university already, and I was working in a hotel as a receptionist, and we had night shifts, and for 12 hours I had to stay awake. Like we had an hour or two during the night where you could have lie down on chairs out of range of the security camera and take a nap. But it was literally like nap on chairs. There were like 3 chairs in a row and you have to like sleep on them. So I was like, oh, and I got really sleepy by that moment. So I was like, I don't really like sleeping on chairs, but I'm very sleepy. I need some rest. So I started bringing cross stitch to work. Like whenever we have free time or whenever we have like no guests or something, I was cross stitching during my shifts and during the night shifts especially because for some time after like 10 or 11, that would be the dead time most of the time. Like there would be some busy days where like check-ins and lots of people and maybe some holidays or something, but lots of the time it would be like 6-7 hours of free time. And cross stitch really helped me to go through that, and stay positive and stay productive, because I really don't like just sitting and watching movie, for example, for 2 hours and not doing anything. Like I don't consider my time spending fruitfully if I just like watch a movie. Of course, I like going to movies and I would watch it, but if I'm at home or if I'm at work and I'm just like sitting and watching movies, uh, I don't like it. So if I'm cross stitching and watching something or doing something else, that would be wonderful. So I started bringing cross stitch, and I was crossing just some random things. I cross stitch some soda, I cross stitch dimensions kit, which I bought floss for it myself, and it was so random. But at that moment, I didn't know anything about cross stitch, like in general. I just had a kit, I had some floss, I had this Ada, which that's all I had. And I never like watched any tutorials. I never knew about like all the different designers and patterns and stuff like that. I don't think at school I even had internet at home. I think the first time I ever joined social media, it was already in university. So that's why my like awakening to the cross stitch world only started when we came to China like 4 years ago. And at that moment, I had lots of free time during the day and in the evenings, especially because we were working in a tutoring centers, and our work would start like from 2 or 3 p.m. So the mornings like would be all free, and of course I would be reading books and I would be playing some games and I would be like doing other stuff. But then I was like, I remember I cross stitched before, so why not pick it up again? And I started googling like all the stuff I could cross stitch, and I stumbled upon the cross stitch Russian cross stitch community. Like I think you know, but Russians have their own like social media, just the same as Facebook, but it's not Facebook. It's called ВКонтакте, and it's almost the same. Like you have to send messages, you have pictures, you have news and everything. So, and there is a huge cross stitch community there, and that was the first time I ever learned about all the different designers. Like first of all, the Russian designers, and all the different types of patterns and colorful things, and ooh, that was amazing. And before I was cross stitching something more primitive style and something easy, and when I saw all these bright wonderful colors, I was like, wow, I want to do that. So I think it was like 2017 when I just started experimenting. I started learning. I ordered the full palette of DMC colors. It's easy in China to order stuff, and I even tried using this Chinese substitute for DMC. It's the same colors, same numbers, but the floss is a little bit thicker, and I actually like it more than DMC because the coverage is more. Like if I cross stitch on a 32 count, I already can use only one strand because the thread itself is very thick and fluffy and it's soft, and I like it. I know some people don't like Chinese floss because they say they fray more and they rip and everything, but I noticed that it only happens when you stitch on Ada, especially on stiff Ada. If you stitch on, even with on linen, it doesn't happen at all like on soft fabrics. So I started experimenting with fabrics, with colors, with patterns, with designers, just to see what I like. And for the last like 3 years maybe, that's the way I've been going through, just to learn who I am as a cross stitcher. So the first pattern I started ever, like, was this one. I framed it. So this is a pattern, sorry for the glare. This is a pattern by Maria Brovko. I think you can find her patterns on Instagram. It's Cute Patterns by Maria. So this is a spring cup. It's called Spring Cup. I have no idea what the names of the flowers, probably crocuses or something like that. So it's full of mistakes. It's full of mistakes. It's my first time stitching on linen. It's white. Like after this, I rarely stitch something on white. I noticed I don't like white color. No, not that I don't like it. I just don't like stitching on white. But it was first time, so I started it on white, and it's full of mistakes. And it was first time doing so much backstitch. So I was carrying threads through all these splotches of color. I mistake some of the backstitch. Like I know that these cordings, they should go like 2 stitches up, because my backstitch is not going as where it should be. And we frame it ourselves. I asked my husband to frame it, so he just puts it in a frame. It's a ready-made frames I buy here in China. They are plastic, but I think they are wonderful. So it's just like that. I absolutely love it, even though it's full of mistakes. So what I like about it is that it's absolutely me. It's all my favorite colors. It's greens, purples, blues, yellows, and it's so random. Like it's just a cup full of everything. So this was the first thing I've ever done, and I absolutely loved it. So I think I started it like in summer 2017, but I finished it only next year, like February, March something, because I first did all the X's and I was intimidated by all the backstitch, so I left it like in my dresser for a long time, and I forgot about it. Like literally I forgot it ever existed. Like by the time I picked it up, I already had some other finished projects, and I was like rummaging through my dresser, I think, looking for some clothes, and I was like, I have it. I should finish it. So I did, and I absolutely love backstitching. Like first it intimidated me, but now I could say I love it. Like it doesn't matter how much backstitch there is on a project, I would do it. Colorful, multiple strands, I would do it. I would just put on some good movie or some series and I would do it. And it will fly by in a moment, and I absolutely love it. So let's go faster. This is the second work I've ever started. This is called The Ruler of Pumpkins, I think. And the designer is the Catherine the Great. I absolutely love how it sounds. So this is a cat on pumpkins and the moon. And I did it on the Ukrainian even weave. It's lavender, purple, something. So in one strand. So all the blends I did like the darker shade first and the lighter half stitch next. So it's all in one strand and looks wonderful. And as you can see, I had no idea how to center my project. Like, I couldn't just put like the center of the project on the center of the fabric. No, I was like, I think I will start here. That's it. So, I absolutely love it. I have no idea how to FFO it because I wanted to frame it at first. But since I have so little margins, and later I saw someone doing a bell pull with it. Like, you buy a wooden hanger and the one down there, but it also would be like that if I put some hanger there. I don't know, like, I have many ideas and they never come to life. So why I picked this one? It was a free sale. I think there were like 400 participants, but it was a free sale where she would give us like the quarter of the pattern. When you will finish it, you send the designer the result, and she will send you the next one and the next one and the next one. So, and then the backstitch. So it was a free sale, and I absolutely love how it looks. And the moment I saw it was like super fast, because like I was at work just scrolling my phone, and I was like saw this free sale, and she said just prepare the floss and we will start in 2 days, something like that, and everything who is late is not going to start with me. So 400 people were able to prepare the floss and fabrics in just 2 days. I think so. I think like that. I may be wrong. It was a long time ago, but it was something like that. So, and I absolutely love the pumpkins. Maybe I got this love for beautiful pumpkins from my mom, because my mom is, I don't think she's crazy about pumpkins, but she loves them a lot. She loves them real much. And every time I go somewhere, like travel or come visit her, I will bring her a pumpkin, like some saucer in the shape of a pumpkin, or a pumpkin toy, or a pumpkin dish, or a pumpkin something. So some pumpkin decoration just. So every time I see beautiful pumpkins, I was like, my mom would love that. And I think I started noticing more pumpkins because of her, that I started liking them too. So that's my favorite part here, just the pumpkins. Ooh, favorite. So the next one I tried, it was a freebie, and it's a big freebie, as you can see. It's a big freebie. I stitch it on a linen. It's ice blue linen. So I think it's something like 28 count, and it's very big. It should have some white snowflakes around the bunny, like it has on the bunny itself, like here, and on the bunny here it has some white snowflakes. But I had this idea of either doing some snowflakes from another pattern, like big ones, like I don't know, I just have these visions of big snowflakes, like not small ones but real big. Or I would paint some snowflakes on it using like just paints. So, and I never finished it like I wanted, but I see it as a pillow, so maybe one day I will make a pillow out of it. So it's a bunny on a bicycle with a Christmas tree and some presents, and I absolutely love it. Like, I love the shading of colors. There are blends, there are lots of backstitch, but I think the result totally worth it. And especially when you love it so much, like you love the process of it, it doesn't become a burden. Like, I know some people don't like blends. I love blends. I don't like when there are too many of them, but some of my patterns that I stitched, they had at least like 15 or 20 blends in them. So absolutely love them, can stitch them tons. So nothing much to say about this one, but After this work, I learned that I don't like stitching on blue. I don't know, it's just not my color. I'm stitching very little of Christmas and winter themed projects, and blue color is just not my favorite. I can stitch in blue color, but I don't like blue color fabric. I don't know, it just bores me. Just like gives me cool vibes. I don't like it. So this was my 2017, and in 2018 I started participating in all different sales, in all different I tried to stitch patterns from different designers, like, and I can't say I stitched like an excessive amount of time or something. Just so slowly I stitched my way through all of them. So first of all, I started with this, and I actually remember how I stitched it. In 2018, I had pneumonia, and I was seriously ill, and like the moment I felt better, I couldn't do anything while I was sick. Like, pneumonia is such a thing, like you can just lie and die. Not literally. You just feel like you have no strength at all. Like going to the bathroom and back to bed already gets all the strength from your body. So while I was sick for 2 weeks, I didn't stitch at all, like not one stitch. And I really feel frustrated about it because I had so much free time. I didn't read books, I couldn't watch movies, my attention span was very little. I was just, most of the time, I was just lying in my bed, dozing off. That's it. So the moment I was feeling better, I started scrolling my phone, and I saw this advertising from the group Zimorodki. They're translated as kingfishers from Russian. So they were looking for the first stage, I think, or how, like, when you stitch something for the first time and designer gives you a free pattern, like it is you have to buy it, but if you stitch it in all the required colors and as a designer wants it, he wants to see how it looks like, so he will give it to you for free. And the only thing you need to stitch it in, like, fast. You need to stitch it fast, and you need to stitch it very neatly, and you need to show the designer good photos so that the designer can advertise the pattern on his website next. So model stitching, it's called model stitching. The words are so difficult. Like, it's my first time ever speaking on a camera, and the words are difficult. Yeah. So this was a llama in a scarf. It's called a llama in a scarf. I absolutely love how her eyes looking. It's like some gem. And her scarf is done in half stitches, actually. It's not full crosses. It's half stitch in different directions, so it gives you texture. And one more thing is this wonderful black work. Like, I just used sewing thread for the black work, not DMC, not some floss, just a sewing thread, because I think DMC looked too bulky, and this like requires something very intricate. Like it looks like a lace, really, and it's amazing. So I think I did it in a week, because like the moment I was getting better, I really wanted to go back to stitch, and I still didn't go to work. So I had 1 week free. I was getting better, but still I couldn't do anything, so I was just lying in bed all day, and I did love it. And I love it. I think I like this color fabric a lot because I stitched a lot on it, on purples, lavenders. I don't know, just this color. So, and after that, I found the group. It's called New Leaf Craft, and they advertised a free sale. I think it's called Bobbin Sampler or My Bobbins or something. The pattern is called that. So, and they were advertising it like they will give just half of it, you stitch it, you show your progress, you get the next line, then you show it, you get the next line, and so on. So every time you don't know what you will stitch, it wasn't a secret stitch, like we saw the full picture I think, but you don't really know what it will be and what techniques it require. Like if you see the picture like this, you don't really know what is it. So I was really surprised by how many techniques and how many things I stitched for the first time in this thing. Like first of all, the words. The words are done in a very beautiful backstitch, and I think it was my first time doing words in backstitch. Like before I backstitched, but no, never words. So it says, "May your bobbins always be full." There are some bobbins with laces, I think. So, and there are pom-poms, and she gave us the instructions, very, very precise instructions on how to do anything. Like there are pom-poms, and I put 2 of the buttons here. I don't remember if there should be buttons or if I added them myself, or there should be like 5 pom-poms, something like that. I don't remember, but it was allowed to change something. Like for example, this floss, like red, pink, and blue and greens. Everyone used their own colors. Someone made pom-poms colorful. Someone made, it was a sale, so there were many people doing it. Someone made just the buttons, and I think I saw the ones that it was made with buttons, so I really liked it, so I decided to make it like pom-pom button, pom-pom button. The next one was like petite stitch. So these roses and these ones are made with petites, and it was my first time ever doing it. Thank God I used even width for that, not the leave-in, and I absolutely love how it is. So then we have some threads, like look like ponytails. Then we have metallic spools, and I actually added some metallics on it. I don't know how well you can see them. Nah, but just believe me, there is a thread of metallic that goes around the spool and gives it a little bit of glitter. Then there is a lace here and a cording here. This little heart is done with cording and just a backstitch here. So it was very challenging, like for the person who stitched like maybe 4 or 5 really difficult colorful projects before. This was very difficult, like because it was tiny, it was lots of color changes, lots of backstitch, and lots of this very interesting things, like how to do these hoops, or how to do these tails, or how to do these little petite stitches, like pom-poms. I don't know, I spent all day doing them, and they're still fluffy. I love them, fluffy, fluffy. So, and before that, I had this piece of neutral even width. It looks like sack even width, I don't know. So I didn't really like it. I was like, it's gray, I don't want it. I like something colorful. I like all the brights. So, but then the required color was something neutral, or brown, or beige, or ivory, and I was like, that would look good on this color. And I'm just surprised how well you can see all this and how well it made it into a picture. So after that, I had this little tiny cat, and it's called Hanging There by Alexandra Yusupova. I'm looking in my notebook. I'm writing all my stuff I've stitched. So it's like a little cat in a scarf and it's hanging on a birch tree. I think it's a birch because it's like white and black. It's cute. It's very small. I don't know, it's like 5 centimeters, 6 centimeters. It was a freebie. Yeah. And before that, I usually stitched like freebies or something like free sales or something I found from the internet. But by that moment, I was like, okay, now since I'm more experienced, I thought so. So I can buy myself a pattern and start stitching a pattern I bought. So at that moment, I think I bought like around 15-20 patterns from different designers. And this was my first Alisa Oknes pattern. She has the series of these hoops, like circles, flower circles. This is a mushroom circle. She has lots of flowers, avocados, chestnuts. She has like a garden flower. She has field flowers. Like I think she has like maybe 30 of them. I have no idea. So, and of course, I was just fascinated by the color scheme of these mushrooms. Like there were blues and greens and purples and oranges and reds, and it looks so psychedelic for me. I don't know, like Alice in Wonderland could have gone through these mushrooms in the Wonderland. I don't know, but I just loved it. And I chose this gray. Looks more, oh, here, yeah. I chose this gray even width for it, and it's really small. Like very, very, very small. Like less than my hand. But it's so intricate because there are so many color changes and there are French knots and lots of backstitch. Backstitch is not difficult, like you just outline all the lines, so it's very easy. But the most difficult part is all the color changes. And I think at that moment I started color completing my projects because I just chose a color and I would go with this color everywhere. I would count. At first I tried marking my fabric, but I didn't like it. Like, I will show you next project. I tried to floss mark. Like I used sewing floss to make markings on it, and I hated it. Like I even stitched some of the floss in and I couldn't take it out in the end. But as I say, I was just learning, I was trying things, and I'm used to making mistakes. Every time I stitch, I'm making some mistakes. So this next one is very meaningful for me. Like at first I was stitching like, oh, I just like it, I will stitch it. Oh, I have a plan for it, I will stitch it. But this one, as soon as I saw this, I was like, oh my god, that's my husband and my cat. Because when I just met my current husband, I was in university and he was living in an apartment that had the same kitchen as this one. Like, I'm not lying, it's true, like the same tiles, the same window, but from the window there was no tree, you could just see my previous school, but it really looks just like that. And he likes cooking, so the picture of him in a kitchen is just about him. He even had this khaki t-shirt when I first met him. So when I saw this picture, I was like, yeah, I'm stitching it. It's my husband. It's my husband. It's not finished. It is like that in the pattern. Like you don't stitch this corner. it stays on open. All the rest is full coverage. I think it's like 250 on 300 or 300 300 something. So it's very big. And after stitching this, I learned that I don't like full coverage. I don't like full coverage. I really usually never stitch full coverage, and I don't like big projects like 300 or 250 something. Just takes too much time for it. I love this pattern. I would never regret stitching it. I spent so much time stitching it. And there are big color blocks and everything is easy. But just... And the kitten. Just wonderful. Absolutely love it. When I moved out, like with my husband, to China, I left 2 of my cats at my mom's. So, I mean, I lived with my mom before when I was in Russia, so my cats just stayed there. Not that like I moved them out from their apartment to my mom. No, we were living all together. So, but when I was living there, they were my cats. Not that I was like, oh, it's mine, don't touch it. No, the cat itself was like that. So they would sleep with me. They would let me pet them. They would climb on my lap and everything. And when my sister or my mom wanted to pet my cat, the cat would hiss and not want to go on her lap or something like that. So, and when I had to leave, because I found work, it's not that I like, I don't want to live with you anymore. No, I found work outside Russia, so I had to leave. My mom was like, yeah, I will take care of them, no worries. And after a while, like maybe several months later, first she said they were lonely and sad and everything was bad. And I was almost crying here. But then she said, no, they're getting used to it, you know. They started sleeping with us and they're more friendly now and everything like that. And I'm like, wow. I was actually happy. So one of the cats really resembles this one. She had a tail like that, a little bit different shading. Like this cat is more like milk coffee, brownish, and my cat was grayish. But I mean, the outline of the cat and the tail is like that. So when I saw that, I wanted to stitch it. I'm so proud of it. It's very meaningful for me. It has this, I don't know, spiritual connection with me. I stitch it on linen. And another thing I learned about it is that I don't like stitching full coverage on linen. You see, like, I always make some mistakes. Like, I read about these things, like, don't make full coverages on linen and center your fabrics and stuff like that. I read about it, like, I have internet now, but I don't really pay attention to that or something like that. So I just do it, and then the moment I don't like it, I will remember it. And the Russian stitching community is I didn't have Instagram before that, like at that moment, so only sales I could do were with Russian stitching community, and it's very into doing some sales based on a theme, not like some pattern or designer, but based on a theme, like let's all stitch flowers or let's all stitch birds. And I joined a sale which told me like let's all stitch patterns from magazines, and I didn't had any magazine at hand, so I just found something from the internet, which was the pattern Large Fairy. It's from the DMC company, but it was in Cross Stitch magazine. You know, I have no idea which one was it, like Cross Stitcher or Crazy Cross Stitch or whatever. I don't know. I'm sorry, but it's a fairy. So when I was about to stitch it, like I really liked this fairy and his face and his blonde hair. It's him. I think it's him. So it's a boy. So I really liked it. It's not like this too sweet flower fairy. No, he's a boy. He's on a large tree, and this red colors. I just loved it, and his hair is so unruly. Ooh, just love it. Um, there should be like 3 or 4 DMC. How do you say cranix? Cranix? No, it's not cranix. Sparkly. So it should be like golden DMC, silver DMC, something else, like sparklies ones. And I didn't have it, and I didn't really want to buy extra floss just for a sale, for a project where I will need them just for a little bit in the wings. So I was like, hey guys, I was asking some group, like, hey guys, what do you suggest me to do? Like, can I just change them into ordinary DMC, or I used here gold DMC, and I think it's a pink sparkly DMC. So I was like asking about it, and people were like super offended that I wanted to change something in the pattern. They were like, oh, how dare you? This is designed so professionally, and if you change something, it will lack so much in its wings. All the magic will disappear. I was like, what? I was like, guys, you have to like stitch whatever you like, how you like it. Not like if it's charted like that, it's not a rule. It's a preference, not a rule, right? Not a must. You should, not must. And I was just very surprised to see that lots of people did not want to try new things. They did not want to experiment. Like, if I didn't ever have a floss number that I needed color or some fabric, I would substitute to whatever I have, or think of something. I would not like buy just one sparkly thread for this project or something like that. Oh, and they were variegated threads in the wings, I remember now. Like 2 variegated, 2 sparklies or light effects, something like that. I didn't have anything of that. So I just put whatever I have, and I found out the variegated threads, which should be in the wings. On some website, there is like, it's variegated in some colors, like white, pink, maybe yellow, and the little numbers of DMCs of the same colors, but solid colors. So I just used some solids, and I think I added some blends. So I think it looks great. There is magic. He can fly. He looks wonderful. Just I didn't get very good feedback about this pattern, about this result. But for me, I still love it. I love it. I enjoyed stitching it. It's amazing. So this was my probably first bad feedback ever. And then 2018 was just the year I really reopened this stitching community for myself, because I joined a chat with girls from all over Russia. I think there were like 10 or 15 of us at first, maybe 10. Now it's around 20. And we've been talking for 3 years now. And it's amazing. First we started just like sharing our projects and stitches and everything. But now we're talking about our jobs and work and families and stuff we do every day, our foods. And it's amazing. Like, I really found some friends because here in Beijing I don't have many foreigners who I can talk to about cross stitch. Like, I have some friends, but mostly they're just like my husband. Hey, hubby, how do you like it? Yeah, it's very good. You did a good job. No, don't talk to me. So, because he knows if I will start talking, non-stop flow of words. So, he's already tired of listening about all my cross stitch from all the years of cross stitch. So I really needed some friends who I can talk this stuff about. And after being with them for talking to them, being friends with them for a couple of months, we had this idea to organize our own bird cell. Like, we started stitching birds. By that time, I think almost everyone in that group had some birds designs of different ones. So I stitched 2, but I will show you 3. So I think I started with this one because it marked April 2018. I put date in them. So it's dimensions. I didn't have it, so I used my own floss. I downloaded a pattern and I bought a very big piece of 18 count, I think it's ivory, Ada, and I was about to stitch all 6 of them. And when I finished 1, I learned that I didn't want to start number 2. And now I don't want to start number 3 and 4 and 5 and 6. And I have this idea to make them into like little flags, all in one row. So it would look so good. Like, to use some Christmassy fabrics all around them to make them into flags and a garland and put them around Christmas all together. I mean, they're beautiful. All this backstitch and colors, and I put my own like date here. It says April. Yeah, April 2018. So I absolutely loved it. But I hated stitching on 18 count Ada. I think it's one of the reasons I don't want to do it, like all the rest. And another reason I learned is that I'm not a serious stitcher. Like, I can do maybe one design of a series and that's it, like the one I love the most. Like, I would never do like seasonal stitching. Like, I would preferably choose maybe fall season or summer season and stitch just that. But I can't do all 4 seasons, or I can't do maybe all 7 parts of something. If I would ever want to do that, I will need to start all of them at once. Because by the time I finish one, I just lose interest in all the rest. Like, I finished it, I love it. In January 2019, like in a year, I made another one. So now I have 2, but that's all I have. And I'm thinking about stitching number 3 this year, so I could have every year one maybe, because they're such a quick stitch. I can do one of these in 2 weeks. They're a really fast stitch, quick stitch, and I love them. The snowflakes and the bird and the little birdie, chickadee, I think. Chickadee. So cute, but don't want to do it anymore. But it's still in my stash, so I will be doing it. By the way, I don't know how well you can see it, but there is someone's shoe on my Ada, because I got this really big piece of Ada with someone's shoe on it. Yeah, like this and here. So, like that. Then next one I also did in the same cell was Seagulls by Maria Brovko. Sorry. Bird theme everywhere, yeah? So, and this was the second thing I did, and it wasn't easy like other stuff I did before, because there is very little details here, like this little crab here, or they're actually like snails and the bushes here, and this lighthouse is very small, and the seagulls themselves are small. So I loved stitching the sky, I loved stitching the land and the water. I hated stitching the rocks because there are so many color changes. Like literally, I was stitching, by the time I tried parking, I was stitching in blocks of 10 every rock, and that was like one green, one purple, one yellow, one white, one blend. So sometimes all 10 stitches were 10 different threads. So you can't see or say like that, but in some parts the rocks really give me a headache. But I absolutely love how it looks like, because it's also very meaningful. Why I originally bought this design is that because when I was in university, I visited USA, and I was living in Maine, Damariscotta, Maine, and there was a Pemaquid Point lighthouse, and I was working right next to it in the diner. So it really reminds me of that lighthouse and the seagulls and the coast itself. So when I saw this design, I was like, I'm stitching it because I need a reminder of that summer. Just one summer I was working a work and travel program, and I was working there, and then I traveled a little bit on the East Coast, and I think next summer I was traveling through the West Coast. So, but I really loved Maine, so beautiful. So I wanted to put it in a cross stitch, and I thought it was the perfect design for me. It wasn't easy, but it is perfect. So I framed it also, plastic frame. My husband framed it, and now it's hanging on our wall. I just put it down because I wanted everything at my hand length, but it was creepy. Put my hand like that, it's so creepy. But I really loved it. And the third piece that I stitched in that bird cell, it was time restricted, so there were only like 2 or 3 months we were stitching birds, so I wanted to stitch as many birds as I can. And while I was stitching birds, there were some small giveaways from the designers who were taking part in the cell, from other people, and one of the giveaways was for this bird. It's called Morning Bird, just Morning Bird. It's a very sleepy owl. He didn't have enough sleep, so he has a very big eye sacs, and he loves its coffee with sugar, and he can't talk while it's the morning. It's like the little image of me when I didn't have enough sleep, when I'm not waking enough. I don't drink coffee, I drink morning tea, but before I drink morning tea, I'm always grumpy. So, and one of the giveaways was for this pattern, and the designer insisted that if she will give someone the pattern, you have to stitch the pattern during the cell. So I had to start right away and stitch it, and I'm actually very happy how it turned out. I think this project even went with me to South Korea, and I finished all the backstitch on the plane and in the South Korean subway. And all the people there were looking at me like, what is she stitching? So it's a travel project. Yeah, but I love it. And it's actually, the owl is a little thinner. I think I miscalculated somewhere, and somewhere in her belly I just lost 2 rows of stitches. But it's still very adorable. It should be fatter. But now it's lean. So I love it. And absolutely love stitching it. It was cute. So after that, I learned about a new designer for me and absolutely fall in love. It's the designer of this is Macaronka Stitch. What can I say? I stitched it on linen. I think it's 25 count linen, so it's big, though it should be very, very small. Like, usually her patterns are small. She has some patterns from World of Warcraft, which are very big, but all the rest of her patterns are relatively small, and they are full of backstitch. They are full of backstitch, all these little details, and I absolutely love how it looks. Like, all the effort I put in it, just worth it. It looks like I painted it, not stitched it. Literally. And I know it's a jackalope, though I call him Rabbit. And she has beaver with horns, and she has some mouse with horns. I have them all in my stash. I just need to stitch them. And again, I can't make myself stitch something else from the same series. I don't know why. I love the designs. I want to put them all in the same frames, so I will have them on my wall. And the point is, there is a jackalope with a full moon. I think the beaver has a new moon, and the mouse has like dying moon, crescent moon. I don't know. I don't remember right now exactly, but like the moon phases are different, and to put them, all 3 of them, they're all different colors. The beaver is pinkish brown, and the mouse is pink gray, and this is like bluish white. So they're all in different colors. They have different moon phases, but if we put them in the same frames, they will make the wonderful wall. And I want a wall with them, but I just can't make myself start stitching them. And I'm like, yeah, I'm starting beaver next. I'm starting them in a month. And I haven't started them for 2 years. So absolutely beautiful. Love how it looks. Love how all her patterns look like you draw them. They don't look like you stitch them at all. Of course, there is so much backstitch, and most of her backstitch is that it's not counted. Like, it would be so difficult to make on Ada. Like, some of the stitches are made in the middle of the cross. Some stitches are made like in the middle of the frame of the cross. Like, there is like cross, and in the middle of the side of the cross. Yeah, and you have to count so much. But I mean, it's absolutely worth it. Why not counting, right? And after that, the whole summer, there was a sale where all Russian designers collected all the patterns they need. They didn't have the stitched the first stitch. Again, I forgot the word. The modal stitch. Yes, thank you. Yeah, you should have yelled at me by that. That it's a modal stitch. So all the Russian designers, they collected the patterns which they didn't have modal stitches for, and they were giving them out for modal stitching. If you have good photos before, and if you stitch something like that and you are interested in them. The whole summer, for 3 months, you would have to stitch them, and every day you will have to show the progress. Every week you will have to show the progress, and I think that was an amazing experience, because lots of really cool, expensive at some point designs were just gifted out for free, and people who were like hesitant to buy and stitch something maybe big or something difficult, they will always go for free stuff. So as soon as they advertise, they're like, yeah, me. So me too, I went into the spree and I stitched 2 designs that summer. So the first one was Moro by Ekaterina Meshkova. It's from Mononoke. If you know the Princess Mononoke, the cartoon by Miyazaki, the Japanese cartoon by Miyazaki, that's her mask. So she has 2 wolves. Like, she has a mommy wolf, and she has 2 wolves that help her. And that was one of the wolves, Moro. So it's like a wolf on the background with some forest and some rocks and some Japanese word. I think it's called forest or something. So and there is a chain and there is a mask. So it's long, it's cool, it's absolutely amazing. It was relatively quick stitch, very good shading blends, amazing backstitch, but I love it. I love how there is no black backstitch. There is like brown, gray backstitch, and then she outlines some of them in red, like here, or his face, or his tail. So just the work of the designer is amazing. So there were 2 of them like that. There is Moro, and there is Ghosted Away. I think the movie name is Ghosted Away, and there is Dragon. There is a girl in the movie who is helped by the air dragon, water dragon. So the water dragon. I think they were supposed to be bookmarks, but I think it's kind of too big for a bookmark. It's like bigger than my hand. Unfortunately, if I have a book here, it's bigger than a book. Yeah, so maybe at some point I will turn it out into a very big bookmark, but I don't know. And right now it's just like that. Like lots of my design, lots of my things that I have stitched are not framed, not of a fold, and it's nothing bad. I'm just stitching for pleasure, not to stress out. So next one was, oh, that's gonna be a long video, 1 hour. Whatever, I love long videos. Like, I don't know about you guys, but I love long videos when people talk. So I can just stitch, occasionally I will watch the screen, and 1 hour or 1 hour 30 is like no big deal. If the person bores me, I will put like faster, like I will put human faster. So if you don't like me speaking like that, if you don't like my accent, I'm so sorry, but you always can speed me so I can talk faster. So the next design I got that summer was the Snow White from the Elf Workshop again. I love them. So she has the whole series of different Disney princess. I think she has a Sleeping Beauty, a Snow White, Elsa, Anna, Alice in Wonderland, like all sorts of them. And they're all done in this Japanese cartoonish style, like not really how they turn out in movies, but this style. So this is a Snow White, and I love her. Like, just look at her face, she's so cute. This is actually pinkier than it turns on camera, so it's not very light pink, it's like pink. No, it's light pink, but it's not like whitish as it shows on camera. I don't know, maybe my lighting is not very good. So, I like her eyes, I like her hair. Maybe it was a very quick stitch. Like, I think I finished it in 1 month. The more difficult for me was to make a picture of it. Because, sorry, water. At that moment, I was really into taking beautiful pictures of my finishes. So I would never like just put it down and take a picture. I would be like, put it down, put stuff around it, like take a picture, put flowers, some random stuff. So yeah, it was really a challenge for me to take pictures, and I would spend maybe a day, sometimes 2, on just one picture. And of course it takes a lot from my stitching time and thinking about it and getting all the stuff I want to put on the picture and stuff like that. So it was a challenge for me to take a picture of her, but the stitching was relatively easy. And I don't really know why I chose her, because I would never say Snow White was my favorite. Like, I love Alice in Wonderland and I absolutely love Sleeping Beauty. I don't know why, but Aurora is my favorite. Maybe because of this beautiful singing in the movie, in the cartoon, or the story. I don't know, but maybe I'm lazy. That's why I'm like, I like her sleeping so much. Just a joke. But never thought of Snow White being my favorite. But when she asked which one I want, I just saw her and I'm like, I want Snow White. Maybe the hair. I absolutely love her hair. And like, comparing me and her, I look so much worse. Yeah, so maybe I just want to be like her. And she's so cute. Lots of blends. Lots like blends in the apple, 2 or 3 blends with her mouth. Her mouth blends. Eyes, skin, her torso. Lots of blends in her torso. Like, all this piece is done in blends. Like, all this is blend with light blue and dark blue. So all this piece is blends. Blends in pink. Blends in white. So lots of blends. But anyway, it was a great stitch. So, and after that, it was the summer. So there was a designer who wanted to make a group of to try out her for a trial for making designs. So she made some videos how to design a pattern, how to make blends, how to how to choose colors, how to make measurements, like how big or smaller the design should be. So she asked us to find some random pictures. We wanted to make it a cross stitch. So I actually made 2 pictures. I have this one, and I designed llama, but I never stitched llama. I just stitched capybara. It's a capybara. It says capybara. It's more pinkier than I wanted it to be. I wanted it to be grayer, but it's my fault. I chose the colors badly. Very badly. Worse than badly. So it's my fault, but I designed it and I stitched it. I did not draw the picture. No, I just randomly Googled something. I was like, oh, I can do that. I'm not selling it. I'm not giving it away. It's just for my own use. So I'm not concerned with rights, any rights. So I think I can choose any random picture and just cross stitch for myself. So this is capybara, but it was from free website, so it's not like I stole some artwork or something. No, it was from a website where the artists are giving away their pictures for free, like for any use, for advertisements, for projects, for anything. So I just chose it from there. So it's capybara, the first pattern I ever designed and stitched myself. And after that, for some time, I lost this designing spree, but I'm kind of feeling it now, like for April. Like, apart from starting all the things of stitching things, I'm like, maybe I should design something to cross stitch for myself too. So, yeah. Now is a difficult time, and for myself, making it better and easier for myself how to live through it is to try doing all the things, like literally all. So the next one is again from the Flower Circles by Alice Agnes. Peonies in a circle. I needed something easy and small that I could go on a travel with. We went to Thailand for 10 days, maybe 2 weeks, and I needed something to take with me. So I took a washable marker. I draw on the fabric itself. It's washed out perfectly. It's Ukrainian even weave. The color, you can see the color perfectly like it's in the real life. So it's very green. And I just took one color and I color completed it. I think around like 10 blends here, but not very difficult. And it's bigger than the mushrooms. Like if we would see mushrooms and this one, mushrooms are way smaller. Shall we? The count is the same. It's both Ukrainian even weave, so it's 30 count. But mushrooms are smaller than the peonies. I don't know. I don't know why it happens so. And then, of course, I would be stitching Halloween things because in Russia we don't celebrate Halloween, but I love it. I love all this suspense thing about Halloween. I love the pumpkins. Absolutely love. So why not stitch scary pumpkins? So in one of the groups there was a sale to stitch little scary pumpkins. Like they were actually like 10 of them, and you have to roll a dice to see what pumpkins you will get to stitch. So first I think I got this skull pumpkin. It's beluge, and I stitched it on gray. It's linen. I think it's 28 count. So it's gray linen, and this one is like a rusty brown linen. It's also linen, and as I see it, it's 32. Yeah, I wanted a series, that's why I stitched them on different linens and on different counts. So I wanted 3, but for some reason I couldn't stitch it in time and the sale was over. Like lots of Russian sales, they are limited in time. Like you have 2 weeks to stitch it, or you have every week new part of the pattern, or you have 2 months to stitch the whole pattern. So this, I think, every week you could get the skulls, and I got 2. Maybe I was late, something like that, but I didn't have enough time to stitch the 3rd one, so I only got 2, and I wanted to make coasters from them. Like I wanted to cut them out, maybe put them on felt or something and make coasters, so every Halloween we could put our cups on them. Yeah, like putting cup of water or coffee on your cross stitch. Genius idea, right? No, I'm not afraid of not afraid of licking my coffee on it. So the idea was making coasters, which I never made. So lots of ideas, never making anything. And sometime then it was this. Teresa Colgate, All Hallows Eve. So, I don't know, no words, just emotions. First of all, when I first saw it, I absolutely loved it. Absolutely loved it. Like these creepy pumpkins. And this cat was like, oh, where are they? What's going on? And his friend is like, yeah, let's go. They're giving us candies. And that last pumpkin is so creepy. I absolutely love it. What I hated is stitching the borders. Because I stitched it 1/2 full cross on Ukrainian even weave, and someone dyed it for me. I think I won a giveaway with this piece from one of the Russian dyers, and I'm ashamed that I have no idea who it was, and it was 2 years ago, so I have no idea how to learn who it was. So shame on me. The fabric is gorgeous. So the moment I saw the pattern, I was like, I'm putting it on this fabric because I want something like that, and I did not want to do the black background. It should be black variegated thread. I'm like, I have no idea how to get that thread here in China. I'm not doing it. So love the animals, love the pumpkin people, hated the border because so many the thread changes. Like there is one cross here, basically one cross here, one cross here, one cross here, one cross here. That's it. The whole color for the whole border. I think there is like 20 or 25 brown colors here. Plus, I emailed Teresa Coggett and she gave me a PDF for it, and the PDF is like black and white, and I don't stitch on black and white. Like all the things I stitched, like all these things, they were colorful PDFs. Like you can see every cross, like it's blue cross, so it's blue. Next shade is a little bit different shade. It has symbols, but it's different colors of the blocks on the PDF pattern. And when she sent it to me, it was like black and white blocks with symbols, but still black and white. I was like, what? I'm just breaking my eyes. I don't know, maybe I'm spoiled, but I hate the black and white patterns. I had to in the program I have on my laptop that I was making the pattern on of capybara, I had to redo it for myself all in colorful blocks. So I could print out the colorful pattern and stitch from paper, but colorful. It's a little crooked, like you can see it's not very even. Like I think my tension was not very even. but all in all, it's perfect square, like from here. I'm gonna frame it sometime. I'm not promising anything, I'm not saying anything, because I have so many things I want to FFO, and I'm stitching more every day, more and more and more. So seems like it's already been an hour and 20 minutes, and I still have a pile of things I want to show you, starting with this beauty. So I'm gonna finish this video here and start filming next one right away, while this one will be loading on Flosstube. So thank you everyone for stopping by, for whoever survived through this spray of my thought and my FOs, never FFOs. So yeah, finish it. And I would really love you to come back and watch the second part of all my finished stuff. And maybe like in a couple more videos we'll go to my whips. I'm just kidding. I never expected it to be so long. I'm so sorry about that one. Maybe I'm rambling too much. But tell me in the comments which one you liked more, which one you didn't like, what do you want me to improve in my videos, and what you would like to see. Actually, any feedback would be very, very appreciated. Like, it's my first time, I never done it before, so please be kind. Like, don't just tell me I hate you, just tell me like, not so much. Something like that. So thank you guys very much, and see you next time. Bye!